Welcome back, dear students. Now, since you are clear about what is planning, why planning is important, what are the negative aspects of planning, in this video we will learn about the process of planning. Process of planning involves few steps. For example, setting objectives, then developing premises, identifying alternative courses of action, evaluating each alternative course of action, selecting an alternative and implementing and then follow up action. So let's learn these points and step one by one. What you need to remember is, see students, this is the first function of management. We will be learning about the other functions in the coming units: organizing, staffing, directing, controlling, and every time you will learn some of the other processes. While you learn the process, see, process is to be learnt in sequence and you cannot disturb the process. If the process is asked in the question, entire process, you have to write all the points. You can't say that it was a 4-mark question and therefore I wrote 4 points. No. When process is asked, complete process is to be written and is to be written in proper sequence. You can't change the sequence of the process. So let us start one by one. The first step in the process of planning is setting up of the objective or the targets. This is the first and foremost step of planning. Objectives provide direction to all the departments of an organization, and these objectives, they should be realistic. That is, the targets which are decided, they should be realistic, time bound, and they should be measurable. Second step is developing premises. Premises are the assumptions. When we are predicting the future, when we are deciding the future, we need to keep some assumptions in mind. On the basis of these assumptions, then further planning process is carried on. This involves development of certain assumptions in order to plan future course of action. Assumptions from the base of planning can be in the form of forecasts, existing plans, or past information about the policies. So, developing premises means development of some of the assumptions. For example, if objective is decided that we are going to increase the sales by 25%. Now, this was the objective. This objective was on the basis of some assumptions. What was this assumption? Assumption may be that throughout the year our sales are going to increase. There won't be any change in the tastes and preferences of the consumer. There won't be any changes in the taxation policy. On the basis of these assumptions only we decided about the targets. Managers, these assumptions assumptions, they form the base of planning and can be in the form of forecasts, existing plans, or past information about the policies. Managers involved in planning must be in agreement on the same assumptions. So this is all what is about the developing of the assumptions or the premises. Now, third step is identifying alternative courses of action. There may be different ways of doing the work, there may be different alternatives available to us, and we need to find out those alternatives. This is the third step. Planning requires figuring out of alternative courses of action based upon objectives and assumptions, including determining, for example, including determining innovative course of action. Alternatives are generated according to the importance of the project at hand. Whatever project, whatever work I have to do, alternatives are generated on the basis of that. For example, I have an alternative. This is not a business objective, just to explain you. For example, I have an alternative to teach you early in the morning at 6 o'clock because your mind is fresh. Another alternative is when you get up, maybe at 8 o'clock, you are fresh for these studies because your sleep is completed and you can start. This is the second alternative available. Third alternative is I could take your class in the evening. So these are identifying alternative courses of action depending upon what type of a plan the person has to make. It depends upon what type of a project you are handling. Let's see with the help of an example. In order to achieve the sale target, the management of RK Limited identified two alternative courses of action. First was focus on domestic market to meet the sales target, or to emphasize on increasing the exports. Both of them will lead to increase in the profits, but two alternatives are available. Either you concentrate on your own country, on the domestic market, improvement in the domestic market, or you concentrate in emphasize in increasing the exports, that is sale for the foreign land. These are the alternatives. Now next step is, once the alternatives are identified, we need to evaluate the alternative courses of action. How this evaluation is done? By learning deep details of each alternative and by analyzing the alternatives, by evaluating which would be the best, by seeing and evaluating the pros and cons, the positive and the negative impacts of all the alternatives available to us. So this evaluating alternative courses of action, it involves evaluation of each course of action against each other. Assessment of each alternative is done on the basis of their quality, feasibility, and consequences. So positive and negative points of each alternative is evaluated before concluding anything. For example, after identifying the alternative courses, RK's management directed the finance department to evaluate the possible risk return trade off of both the proposals with respect to possible earnings, earning per share, interest, taxes, dividends, etc. So each alternative course which we identified earlier, two courses of action were identified by RK Limited. Both these would be evaluated in detail. Now once the evaluation is done, selecting the best alternative. Which one is the best? We cannot go for both the alternatives. We need to choose the best. This involves selection of most feasible, most profitable alternative with least negative consequences. In most cases, selection is guided by subjectivity and manager's experience. This includes choosing one or a combination of plans to achieve the desired objectives. So, we evaluated the alternative courses of action in the previous step, and now whatever alternative proves to be the best, that is to be selected. For example, the selected course of action by management of RK Limited was more focus on domestic market in order to increase their sales instead of relying on exports. So the selected alternative was more feasible as it was more profitable for the company, because it was both the alternatives are evaluated and this was found to be most profitable. Now after the alternative is selected, then implementation of the plan. This step involves the practical application of selected plan. It requires organizing various resources, money, labor, machinery, etc. This is how the plans are implemented. For example, RK Limited initiated the implementation of selected plan by communicating it to concerned departments and allocating the necessary resources. And last but not the least, last step of planning process is monitoring of implementation of the plans to check the performance of activities according to the schedule. This is important for ensuring successful achievement of organizational objectives. So I hope that you are clear with the process of planning and you have understood. What you need to remember is, every process, whatever process we are learning, we will be learning in sequence, and complete process is to be written in the exam wherever the process is asked. Thank you all.